I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. Last year I shared a lot about my testimony and how I came to know Christ, but the one question that I want to leave you with and the challenge that I want to leave you with is trusting Jesus and trusting God during the storms of life. All right, trusting Jesus or trusting God during the storms of life and allowing Him to calm the storm. I'm going to take you through a couple storms that I've been through tonight or in my life. One of them being the reason why I'm a Christ follower today was when I was 15. I had my first elbow surgery, and that for the first time in my life, baseball was no longer something that I could use as my identity because I was injured. Had surgery, ended up going and spending time with my youth group for the first time in my life. And I was at a youth group camp in Ridgecrest, North Carolina, and decided to follow Christ with about 2 days left. I don't even remember what the message was that night, but I could just feel God pulling at my heart. And that moment changed the way I looked at baseball, because for the first time, God was first in my life and baseball had taken a back seat. That's going to be a segue into the next storm, and that was when I had Tommy John in 2011. Had I not been married to the beautiful woman right there, and had I not had the relationship in Christ that I had, I probably would have faltered through that storm. I was in AAA on the brink of making it to the big leagues, and Tommy John hits me, right upside the face and hummels me. And for a year I was out of the game, and then was able to make go through rehab and come back stronger than ever. It was a tough time, but because of my relationship in Christ and having such a great support system with my wife, I was able to make it through it fairly easy. The reason being is that if we don't trust in Jesus during the storms, it's easy for the storm to overtake us. I'm going to see if they can put up Mark 4:35 through 41 for me. And it's talking about when Jesus calms the storm. That day, when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." I'm going to jump back to verse 38 because I picked Mark because I thought it was interesting. The question that they asked Jesus at the time was, "Jesus, do you care if we drown?" And I just want to let you know, Jesus has the power to calm any storm in your life. All right, if we don't allow Jesus to come in and calm the storm, it's going to be able to easily overtake us. But he has the power to calm it. And once you get through that storm, you will be stronger in your faith in Christ, stronger as a person, you name it. I guarantee if I had people raise their hands right now, you've probably either just come out of a storm in your life, you might be in a storm right now, or you could very well be just a few days away from a storm coming along. And the storms look very different. It could be a surgery, or it could be like this next storm and the last storm that I'm going to share. Going to be a little tough here. Sorry, it has to do with, I don't know if Hayden's around here right now. Hayden, can you wave? Can you wave? Hi, honey. Hayden is my 2-year-old daughter, and she was a part of a big storm in March 2014. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and everything's going, I guess, somewhat well with labor. All of a sudden, 9 doctors and nurses come rushing in. And anybody who's had kids and has had to struggle with a birth knows that that's not exactly a good feeling. I'm running behind, and they say, "Hey, you need to go in this room right here." And that was the beginning of a pretty tough storm for me and my wife. And I hit my knees right there in that waiting room, and I just started praying. I said, "God, this is either going to be the best 20 minutes of my life or the worst 20 minutes of my life." And gosh, it seemed like forever, honestly. Miraculously, 15 minutes later, after an emergency C-section, Hayden was born. Unfortunately, she was born lifeless. They resuscitated her and got her intubated within 15 seconds. and they estimated she was without oxygen for about 15 to 20 minutes. Anybody in the medical field, her APGAR score was a 4, which is basically no chance, and they don't know what her future is going to be. For probably 3 days, we couldn't hold her because she was on a cooling cap, and they were trying to give her brain a chance to catch up and her brain a chance to kind of reset. And that's her right now. But I cannot tell you how that storm would have gone if my wife and I could not have leaned on Jesus during that tough time. We walked out of the hospital after 8 days in the NICU. After 8 days in the NICU, and with amazing people praying all over. I probably don't even know who all was, but we walked out of that NICU 8 days later, and the head NICU doctors had no idea how that happened. They had no idea what repercussions were going to happen later on in life. They just knew that that little baby was a miracle, and she still is today. But I just want to wrap up here and reiterate. It's easy for the storms to overtake you. And if you're going through a storm right now and you've never made the choice to even look into who Jesus is, I just challenge you, pick up the Bible, go through Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, one of the 4 books that tells this story, and give him a chance to calm the storm. Just give him a chance, because he's got the power to do it. And I promise you, when you get through that storm, you will be stronger because of it. All right? Thank you for your time. Coming up after